Hello everyone, welcome to Bielefeld. Cup holders Bayer Leverkusen will be looking to book their return ticket to Berlin this evening as they take on third division Arminia Bielefeld in the semi-final of the DFB Pokal. There is no question that Arminia Bielefeld are the big surprise team of the current DFB Cup season. They beat three Bundesliga clubs and one Bundesliga 2 side on the way here. Something that's never been achieved by a club playing below Bundesliga 2 level in this competition since the German top flight was founded. Xabi Alonso's side will be very aware of Bielefeld's giant killing spree this season and will be desperate to avoid becoming their latest victims. Leverkusen will fancy themselves to come through this with flying colours. But the cup holders have been warned. Bielefeld like to play in open spaces and catch teams off guard, but Leverkusen are adept at scoring goals in transition too. The crowd, as you can hear, will play their role too. This is the DFB Pokal. It's a knockout competition, and they make their own rules. The stadium announcer going down the lineup. Joining me today is a former Bundesliga professional who played not only for Bremen, Dortmund, and of course Germany, but also for today's underdogs Bielefeld in his active career. Still very active in football today as an international ambassador for Dortmund and in various roles, like joining me today, Patrick Ogomoyela. A little trip down memory lane for you. Your emotions must be as high as a lot of the players and public in today.
Yeah, hi Phil. I'm excited. I can say so much, and I know what this stadium can create for an atmosphere, and that's what this game is going to need today to be a close one, be an exciting one. Bielefeld needs their fans and their home crowd to maybe have a chance of beating Leverkusen, who are just a strong team to face this late in this competition.
Well, we know all about Leverkusen, double winners. They were in the Europa League final last season. They won the double. But let's just give Bielefeld their due. What an amazing run they've had. They're going well in the League 2, or rather in League 3. They're going very well there. They're fourth. This cup run, though, what's behind it? Because you've seen some of the games, you've been here yourself. They're doing some things right.
They're doing a lot of things right, that's true. And just, I mean, it's incredible. Looking at that draw, every round after round, you must think, oh man, this is gonna be it. And still, this team rises to the occasion with the help of the fans and beats these big teams, these big names. And this is what we're gonna have and meet today.
A real cup atmosphere here this evening. The hope, the belief, the faith is there from both sets of supporters. Home side Arminia Bielefeld have already eliminated 3 Bundesliga teams and 1 club from Bundesliga 2 in this season's DFB Pokal. Not bad for a side from the third division. Hey, indeed, reaching the semi-final is in itself a massive achievement for them. But they will need to go one further tonight as they take on reigning Bundesliga champions and DFB Pokal holders Bayer 04 Leverkusen. for a place in Berlin on the 24th of May. In short, they are 90 minutes and 1 victory away from their first ever final and potentially one of the biggest giant-killing games in Germany for years. All the way through the city, there are people, old ladies, dogs, prams, buildings wearing the Arminia Bielefeld colours. This evening, of course, also is a big evening for Bayer Leverkusen. They could get through for the first time in their club's history to 2 consecutive DFB Pokal finals, which is also no small achievement for them.
No, it wouldn't be a small achievement, but it would be the only chance of having something to show and present to the fans to at the end of the season after last year's double and a win. This could be at least something they could still achieve this season, but it's not going to be easy because there's this underdog of like Arminia Bielefeld, and they're biting themselves into every of these games, every of these rounds, and after that, of course, they would have to face either Leipzig or Stuttgart. So it's still a way to go also for Leverkusen, but first of all, it's this one here against Arminia Bielefeld in the Schüco Arena.
Well, of course, Leverkusen's quality might just be a little bit too much for the home side. They are nicknamed Leiterkusen of late, and they do score late. It's going to be a long 90 minutes, but you don't get through to the semi-finals by beating 3 Bundesliga sides. I mean, they beat Freiburg, they beat Union, and they beat another of your old sides, Werder Bremen, as well as Hannover 96 in the first round. They put out some meaty opposition.
Yeah, and it's not just all luck. You can't go this far with just based on luck. So you have to do some things right. And I witnessed at least one of these games here in this stadium against Werder Bremen, and they were fighting. They were really bringing the fight to Werder Bremen and kept themselves alive, scored some fantastic goals, had a little bit of luck, of course, with an own goal as well. But in the end, they deserved it. And they did so for a couple of rounds now. And maybe they can pull it off just once more.
Well, it's a big night for the city. It's a big night for the club. It wasn't so long ago that they were back up in the Bundesliga, but they've slumped down to Division 3. But they're currently 4th, 50 points to their name, with the hope of promotion still there. And there are some players with some experience in there tonight. You will notice certainly Sam Schreck, somebody who played with Jonathan Tah at Leverkusen not so very long ago. They're pretty much sticking with their lineup. 3 changes. Joel Felix is out. Felix Hagmann comes in for him. Maximilian Gorser comes in for Stefan Lannert. And Zaren Renblaze is in for the Division 3 top scorer, Julian Kania, which is a bit of a surprise, but they need some form of impact, people on the bench that will bring fresh legs and fresh impetus at some point. Hopefully not fresh impotence. That's a completely different kettle of fish.
Yeah, but they have names on the bench that also scored already against Bundesliga teams in this cup competition. In Lannert, of course, and in Kania, they scored against Freiburg both. So maybe this could be something to throw in later on. But we will see how this one develops.
Yes, of course, Christopher Lannert, by the way. Sorry, not Stefan Lannert. They look nervous. And Leverkusen have made 2 changes. The looks on the faces there said it all. This can only be a massive banana skin for them. Either they will win easily or they will have trouble, and they don't want that second version. 2 changes. The big one, Lukas Radetzky in goal. That means that Matej Kovar has been dropped to the bench, which is not a good sign for him. Another change. Robert Andrich is in for Alois Garcia, and Amin Adli starts instead of Boniface. So that means that they've taken out the 2 of the goal scorers from last weekend's win against Bochum and brought in one in Amin Adli. Referee today, Harm Osmers. He's got Dominic Schall and Stefan Lupp with him. Florian Exner is the 4th official. Johann Pfeiffer and Anna Arning, the video assistant referee, and his assistant. We're having a good look here at Mitch Kniat, who is the coach of Arminia Bielefeld. He's going to have an interesting night this evening as well, isn't he?
Yep. I mean, but these are the big stages. This is what you aim for, not just as a player, also as a coach, of course. And to face opponents like Leverkusen on a weekly basis, this is where you want to go. So also for Mr. Kniat, it's a very exciting one today, I'm pretty sure.
Well, you played here yourself. You know how loud this crowd can be.
Oh, yeah.
It's just over 25,000 that fit in here, but it's a very nice, tight, old-style stadium, and it makes a noise. And we'll probably hear some of that noise this evening. So the visitors get the semi-final of the DFB Pokal underway. They are in all red, with the black trim kicking from left to right against Arminia Bielefeld from Division 3, the third tier of German football. Already we see there's a player down. It's Adli, I think, who got a blow to his head.
Yeah, it's a little collision of heads. It's actually to the face of Frimpong. He was turning around while trying to head on this ball.
It's one of those things that does happen. It is a contact sport, and both of them were going for the ball and looking to the ball. Let's hope that's nothing serious. We look at it again.
Yeah, it's Maximilian Grosser going to this header, and then that collision. But Frimpong is already back on his feet.
That's good. And it was more of a glancing blow, which is always good. There is Xabi Alonso. He could set a new record this evening if his side win. More on that later. Fair play there from Mel Korbos, the Bielefeld captain, returning the ball to Leverkusen. The big news, of course, this evening is that Matej Kovar has been dropped to the bench. He has been Leverkusen's cup goalkeeper, not only in this competition but also in the Champions League. That does mean they really want this. You put your #1 goalkeeper in for your #1 games, and this is a #1 game here.
Yeah, it's of course a game where in the end there's one team that's going to advance and the other team is going home, at least when it comes to this competition. And with a little bit of not so good performances in the Champions League, especially in that first leg against Bayern Munich, Matej Kovar kind of knocked himself out of that pole position when it comes to cup games.
First corner of the game awarded by Harm Osmers. This is the fourth time that they've met in this competition. Leverkusen have won all 3 of the previous ones, but only one of them by a 2-0 win. The others went to extra time and penalties. Or one of them went to penalties, one to extra time. Jonathan Tah getting up. He was pretty well covered.
Yeah, familiar things happening here, especially when corners. It's always Jonathan Tah on that second post trying to sneak his way in and then maybe surprise the opponent, even though it shouldn't be a surprise anymore because he does it all the time.
Well, it really is a David and Goliath one today. And just to give us all a quick history lesson, in something like the 9th century BC or something like that, the Roman army, not so far away from here, were beaten by the Germanic tribes, led by a gentleman called Arminius. Well, let's wait a second here. There was a real big crunch on Jonas Kirksen. Referee getting in there straight away. Possibly not the best time to give a history lesson, as cup competitions can be very quick in the way they change. But anyway, the Legion had a very nasty surprise, as indeed Jonas Kirksen did there.
Yeah, I mean, Adli, he tried to run past him, kinda, but it was a full-on collision in the end. Luckily, nothing happened. Both players can continue.
And I think Kirkson had protected himself with his leg coming across there.
Goalkeepers are used to falling in that case.
And contact.
Yeah, and contact as well.
So just to finish off my little story, the Arminius was the leader of the German tribes that beat the Roman legion. And of course, that is what Arminia Bielefeld are named after. The Battle of the Teutoburger Wald, or Teutoburger Forest, happened not so far away from here.
Yeah, and there's still a little bit of a statue or a monument, at least, in that Teutoburger Wald, or at that area you were talking about.
Will there be a statue to the Arminia players today? Well, should they get to the cup, I'm sure they probably will think about it. But they need to be composed. They need to not fall into the trap of trying to match Leverkusen's intensity. Header away by Stefano Russo. Jonathan Tah outside of him. Nori Mukiela. Oh, he's had his pocket picked there, and the crowd are on their feet already. Marius Wurl. This is Godowski. Leverkusen are regrouping. But that was what exactly Bielefeld are waiting for. That kind of move could produce results.
Yeah, this is the kind of recipe that they also used against Werder Bremen in that last round. Try and wait for these opportunities for counter-attacking and then go from there. Finishing with some fantastic goals in the end, but surprising the opponent every now and then with some fast break football.
Jonas Kirkson lobs it long, and that's an interesting clearance from Frimpong. And the fans appealing for a back pass, but that certainly wasn't a back pass. No indirect free kick for that. Radetsky trying some of the same medicine there. Long ball over the top. Patrick Schick leading the line today for Leverkusen. He's in great form. 17 goals in the Bundesliga. The last time they were here, back in the 21-22 season, 4-0 win. He got a brace.
Yeah, Patrick Schick is the most important man up front, at least, for Leverkusen in recent weeks, if not months. And it's, again, no Boniface on the pitch because Patrick Schick is performing that well. But Leverkusen, of course, has a lot of options.
That's the point. They have a Champions League squad, and to bring somebody with Victor Boniface's class off the bench, I mean, he's not the only one on the bench that they can bring on. Buendia's there. Nathan Teller can add speed. Alex Garcia. Piero Hincapié. A little bit too much underneath that one. Now, I did say that Bielefeld have to be careful they don't get drawn into trying to exchange the one-for-one, the intensity. But they have brought their own intensity, which is probably much better for them than to try and match that of Leverkusen.
Yeah, but you're exactly right. This is how they play. This is their playing style. Intense, energy football, I would call it. And not looking for what the opponent has to offer, but throw themselves in those situations and try to create momentum for themselves. This is what Bielefeld does and what they did so far, and it worked pretty good in this competition especially.
Now there's quite a lot of sand put down in the 6-yard box there and in the penalty area, but the weather has been rather good the last week or so, so I don't think that's going to cause an issue.
No, it's not the best pitch, of course, but it's decent enough to play a good game of football on it.
Osmers, the referee today, have lost both DFB Pokal games that he's been the referee of for them. Leverkusen have won their only cup game that he reffed. And that was the 1-0 win in Munich against Bayern. So they're quite fond of him as a referee, I'm fairly sure.
Yeah, but it really doesn't go for much if that referee gives you good memories or not, because it all comes down to what you create on the pitch, within the boundaries of rules, of course, against this opponent, and it can't really get any more difficult than facing Bayer Leverkusen.
If you're just joining us, I'm Phil Bonney, alongside me, former Bielefeld professional, as well as Bremen and Dortmund and Germany, of course, Patrick Ovomoyela. This game will produce a result today. If it's level after 90 minutes, there'll be 2 periods of extra time, 15 minutes each way. And if it's still level then, there will be a penalty shootout, 5 penalties each, and if it's still level then, it'll go to sudden death penalties. The first team to miss when the other scores will be out, and the other team will be on their way to Berlin to the final. There's a no-holds-barred challenge there between Nordi Mukiela and Marius Wörl. Just a little bit too much enthusiasm from the home side's player. Alex Grimaldo to Patrick Schick, who wins the throw-in. Leverkusen's last 3 losses in this competition have all been to sides from lower divisions. But obviously, that was a while ago now. 10 wins on the bounce in cup competition for Xabi Alonso on his side.
Yeah, we all know how strong they were performing last season in Cup and League, and also in the Europa League as well.
Some battling going on there with Felix Hagmann. He started today.
And I mean, sorry to bother you, but it's these little wins, you know, these situations that give you just a throw-in that you feed off as an underdog, you know. Just get a throw-in, deny them of a goal-scoring opportunity. All these little things give you more and more belief, more and more strength and confidence, and then you can go from there. So it's a very good beginning so far from Bielefeld, because they manage that Leverkusen is not able to have a constructive build-up, because Bielefeld is denying them.
Well, the problem also could be for Bielefeld is getting into that final third against a very organised Leverkusen back line. Noah Sarenren-Brazé brings some experience to the side. He starts today for Bielefeld instead of Julian Kanaya, who's the top goal scorer in Division 3.
I think it's a more physical approach up front, especially with Sarenren-Brazé and Godowski, of course.
It's another reason why I think that Robert Andrich is starting today. He's a little more physical.
And that's what the cup is all about, especially if you have 2 teams from different leagues. It's usually going to end up being a real fight, a gritty one. And that's why both coaches probably took that kind of approach.
Well, that always is a bit of a standard approach from the coaches of the sides from a lower division. Is, you know, get yourself out there, make yourself felt, let them know they're in a game. And that often means just making sure you make contact.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, usually you can outsmart the team from the higher leagues. And you usually can outplay them by having more quality or being the better playing team. But you can physically outwork them. And this is what Bielefeld is going to try today.
They win the throw. Mael Corbos, the captain there, an American, puts in a lot of distance for his team. Born in Mobile, Alabama, plays his football in Bielefeld. Zaran Bazi bumped off the ball, no foul.
Yeah, but you had a little glimpse of that speed that he can bring. He took a couple of meters of Hincapie, who was himself not really the slowest defender there is in the Bundesliga, so that was a close one. Step more and he would have gotten there.
Adley with the throw. Andres. They'll have another corner. This is only the 4th time ever that Bielefeld have got as far as the semi-finals. They've never got to a final before.
Yeah, hurtful memories, actually. I wasn't one of those, or I'd rather say I wasn't in one of those semi-finals because I was injured just before. Couldn't make it back after knee surgery in time.
Now, talking about injury, of course, one of the big misses today for Bayer Leverkusen is Florian Wirtz. He's got an ankle issue. Xabi Alonso watching his players getting bumped and jostled.
Yeah, there was a collision there, but unintended. I don't think it's worthy to look at, really, with the VAR.
It all happened behind him. Good header. Jonathan Tah makes it 1-0. He has a knack of scoring important goals in cup games. It was he who got that last-minute winner against Stuttgart last season. And he's got the first goal of the game this evening. His 35th DFB Pokal game. And he has put Leverkusen in front.
Yeah, and we see this all the time. It's Jonathan Tah stealing away on that second post. Sometimes that ball gets there directly. Sometimes it needs a deflection or a little bit of a nod at the beginning, in this case from Amin Adli. And then he's absolutely free, nobody there, nobody following him, and able to push that ball over the line.
You can see how much it means to the Bundesliga's reigning champions and all the coaches and Alonso. That goal was celebrated as if it had been scored against Bayern in a Bundesliga game.
Yeah, of course, everything now is important. It's that crucial time in the Bundesliga, the crucial time of the year. It's a crucial stage in the cup competition, so there's nothing to give away too easy. So everything is important, every goal, and of course every win.
Well, previous to the goal, the only other shot came from a corner, and Leverkusen this season are the second best team at scoring from corners in the Bundesliga, and obviously they brought that over and on to this competition. It's a foul, Maximilian Großer brought down by Frimpong. Jonathan Tah's first goal in the competition this season. Or is it going to drop for them? Oh, yes! That's what they wanted! Marius Ball makes it 1-1 and the stadium erupts!
there's a little bit that we have to watch it. First of all, that is a wonderful ball, finding Oppi on that left wing. Good contact there. And then, is there a collision between Zaren Zenbaze and Hincapie? Not really. I don't see it. Hincapie makes the most of it. Of course, he wants that call going his way. And it's again Well taking that ball, taking an opportunity. A little bit of a deflection there from Jonathan Tah, but he gets that ball over the line. The question is, will it stand? Of course, the VAR is going to look on everything that we just saw.
You have to be right on these things, but it looked to me as if there wasn't really anything that would stop that goal. Marius Wörl scored the winner against Bremen in the previous rounds.
Hincapie kicked his own leg. Question is, was he touched there, or was there a touch on his left foot before he did so? So was he tripped? Or was it just a regular collision? That goal stands.
It's a goal, and they can really celebrate it now. He's been involved in 6 goals in the Cup so far this season, Marius Wörl. 3 he set up, and 3 he scored himself.
Yeah, it's incredible. This is the moment so far for Arminia in this game, coming back from trailing with a goal against Leverkusen, and almost instantly coming back from that. So of course something that should give them some momentum now.
It's the perfect response to going a goal down. In some cup games, just scoring against the Bundesliga side is enough to make a team happy, but this will not make Bielefeld anything other than more determined to get another goal.
Yeah, I mean, they experienced it 3 times in a row now. And if you take that Hannover game as well in the first round, it's 4 games where they experienced to be the underdog and then making dreams come true and advancing. So this must feel just like another time. Let's do it one more time. Let's do it once again.
The belief is there because they've done it. This is we talk about this every week in, week out. The mental strength that gives a team, knowing that they can do it, knowing they can get. The same is true of Leverkusen. They know they can score late.
Yeah.
Because they've done it so often.
Absolutely. There is a huge mental part in football. And maybe we're witnessing how important that can be today.
The 2 goals, just 3 minutes apart. And it wasn't even as if Leverkusen had just suddenly relaxed. It was a swift Bielefeld movement that paid dividends. Now we talked, or rather I've talked about how Bielefeld mustn't be pulled into trying to meet the intensity of Leverkusen. Leverkusen themselves mustn't now be pulled into that sort of urgency that Bielefeld have been showing.
Yeah, I mean, if this becomes a crappy cup fight, it always caters more to the underdog. It always caters more to Bielefeld in that case.
Well, Zaren Zenbaze was quick off the mark again there. Really good decision to play him today, or so it's seeming.
There's another collision between those two. There's contact. But again, I think it's the right decision. This is no foul on Zaren Zenbaze, sorry.
And you thought you had the complicated game.
Yeah, sometimes I get it twisted. Here's another look on that goal, of course, of Jonathan Tah, that opening goal. And I'm pretty sure Leverkusen thought this is going the right way, and then this happened. A little bit of luck maybe that the decision went Bielefeld's way, play continued. And these must be happy tears this fan is shedding there. Tears of joy for Bielefeld.
Well, we're only nearly 25 minutes in. We've already seen 2 goals. Leverkusen have scored in all of their last 37 cup games. fourth longest run. Offside flags up on this near side from Dominic Charles. So moving it across and getting it back. His pass intercepted. Good control from the captain. Oh, very well done, Baron Rowe. Bazet, what a save, Radetzky. Zaradan Bazet. Handball, shout the crowds. Bielefeld playing their socks off in this first half an hour. Grimaldo, hardly. Palacios getting in the way of the referee, and vice versa. Referee's ball, he will drop it for Leverkusen to play it. Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, but I have to say, this is exactly the game so far that Bielefeld wants it to be.
Oh, that's a good ball. That's a great tackle. Whoa! This is an evening for the young Bielefeld players to put into action everything they've ever learned. Hincapié and Zaradan Bazet are having a battle royal between them out there.
It's incredible to watch these two teams, actually. This is a fantastic tackle there. This is great stuff of Schneider, and of course the speed. Again, that big chance for Zaradan Bazet, but in the end, maybe that ball was too centric in front of him. He couldn't really turn himself enough to go for one of those corners.
And a good save from...
And it is a great save, of course.
From Lucas Radetzky.
From Radetzky, but what a game so far. This is why we love the cup competition so much.
100% cup fight. Can they keep this up, though? This is a big ask for a team 2 divisions below. Mukiela getting tangled up with Wöhler. Wöhl, beg your pardon?
Yeah, that pass wasn't good of Xhaka. We don't see that really often. And I thought for a second if Wöhl would have committed fully, he might have had a chance to pass Mukiela and then go off on another counter-attack. But anyways, they get the free kick. It's, again, one of these little wins that I was talking about that gives them more and more momentum.
Steely nerves from Stefano Russo. His 9th DFB Pokal game. Every ball played with everything they have. Well, that was asking a lot of Opie. Oh, lovely back heel, classy. Jonathan Tah is there, Germany defender. Foul by Grodowski.
Yeah, that was that elbow to the neck of Robert Andrich from Grodowski. It's of course clever. You feel the contact, you go down, you get the call. And there's already discussions. Of course, not happy really with how the game is going so far, Xabi Alonso.
Well, the return that Vuel has had so far in this cup, he's the top scorer now. He's got one more than Patrick Schick. He's been involved in 6 of Arminia's 10 goals. 3 he's scored, 3 he's put in. He's the most valuable player in this competition to this point.
Yeah, and he still can add to that. And he does at the moment with a really good performance so far. And scoring that equalizer, of course.
Frimpong, dangerous ball in. But this is the point where really the Bundesliga side are going to be looking at each other and saying, lads, we are better than this. We need to control the game. We need to just do what we do week in, week out. Lukiela with a good challenge.
Yeah, and there will be, of course, a point in time where that energy level will drop off Bielefeld, because, as you said, and as you asked earlier, how long can they keep this kind of intensity up? It's gonna go down a little bit, and the question is, what are the standings by then, and how is that momentum shifted? Because obviously Leverkusen will keep going. We know they're Leverkusen yet again, and they will fight to the end, of course, but can Bielefeld do the same?
Bielefeld will be waiting for any chance. We've already seen that at least 2 or 3 times today already. Adley's put that in really nicely towards Schick. Those are the kind of balls he thrives from.
Yeah, but so far that center is airtight with Großer and Schneider, and Russo sinks down between them every now and then to make it a 5-back row.
It's a good throw. You can see the plan is quite simple. Knock it forward, and Zaran Barzeh will just put the pedal to the metal. Another corner. They need to be careful again. As mentioned, Leverkusen, one of the most dangerous sides from a corner ball in the Bundesliga.
And they have these very precise guys that can deliver these balls on point, finding guys like Patrick Schick or Jonathan Tah on that second post. I'm pretty sure we see number 4, exactly this man, appearing on that second post once again.
Andrich trying his luck. Jonathan Tah. This is dangerous. Well, it would have been had Schick not managed to put it out. It was a difficult ball for him to control.
Yeah, very difficult. Everything was a little confused. That's a good ball, finding Jonathan Tah on that second post. Good idea to get it back out to a better position, Andrich, and then that one touch is not precise enough from Patrick Schick.
Campier. Schick, good touch, Palacios. Still Palacios, now Adley, oh, if they come off, they're beautiful.
Leverkusen can play quick too, and of course, they know how to find each other, combine with each other. Bielefeld just great in disturbing them and leaving them no peace at all. Everything is contested. Everything is fought for.
It's a foul. And it'll be a free kick. In a decent area to set something up. Chaka. Andrus did well to keep that under control.
Maybe it's, oh, that's a clumsy one, actually. I thought it was a good situation for counter-pressing. And of course, at first, for Arminia to chase it. But it's really interesting, that performance of Bielefeld. I mean, they're not holding back. They're not giving everything to Leverkusen. Almost 50-50 in terms of possession. And what I said earlier, by how contested everything is, Leverkusen only able to get 60% of their passes completed from open play. That's incredible defensive effort by Bielefeld, of course, and a very confident approach with the ball. And
that was the moment where they could have gone 2-1 in front.
That would have done even better, of course, for Bielefeld. And this is a very thoughtful.
He's not overly impressed, is he?
I think he is impressed, but not
by
with
Bielefeld.
but not with the performance from his own team.
Indeed, they've really shocked teams this cup campaign. Freiburg, Union and Bremen, as well as Hanover, all being stung by the energy and input from Bielefeld. Yes, being on the bench is not fun.
Yeah, no, it's not fun, but I mean, talking about input and maybe some options for Leverkusen, of course, we saw Victor Boniface sitting on the bench, wrapped in a thick jacket there to not get cold, but I think once he's out there on the pitch, he's bringing some heat, I'm quite sure.
And to a certain extent, when you play sides from a lower league, you have to give them their head a little bit. You have to let them gallop, and but you can't let them gallop too much. That's, of course, always the danger.
Yeah, and there's another point, but just wait for this situation to maybe flatten out a little bit, and it does again. The one situation for Bielefeld. It also is very interesting. Once you play lower tier teams, they kind of react and act absolutely differently to what you are used to those first tier teams, because they think a little different. And that's usually the difference between those levels of play. It's not the physical part usually, it's what they do and when they do it. And sometimes that confuses you a lot, and you have to adapt to that as the Goliath, so to say. You have to adapt to that, or at least to find them out. And the longer that takes, the harder that can get for you as a better team. So that's very interesting. If you play players and teams from lower ranks, sometimes gives you a much harder time than facing a strong opponent.
Frimpong's header. Mukiele just lumped that one up. Now Leverkusen trying to break with Frimpong. Some good first-time passing going on there. Mukiele. It's controlled, and the crowd appreciating that.
It is very impressive how calm they react in these situations. I mean, still, this is Leverkusen, and they're bringing some pressure, and Bielefeld is trying to play their way out of it instead of just chopping wood or just hitting those balls long.
And you have to play to your strengths when you're up against a side that are a couple of divisions higher than you. Everyone's on their feet again. Godowski's going forward. Godowski was clipped, and Mukiel is getting a yellow card. He's been involved and tangled up more than once so far today. His first yellow in the competition this season.
Yeah, idea was right, execution poor, and then he had to recover from it. And of course, this is nothing but a sweep off the feet of Godowski. And rightfully Mukiele in the books now.
Discussion going on.
Yeah, we know about that foot of Russo. He can curl that ball dangerously onto the goal.
Opie is there as well. And he's left-footed by persuasion. I think it might be left for Russo, who's gone for goal, and why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, just a little lower. All these people running towards Radetzky. It might become a threat.
Well, they've not conceded from distance so far this season, Leverkusen, in the Bundesliga. Radetzky with the long punt down the field. Schick trying to head it on for Adli. Ball out of play. Well, the last 4 cup games, Bielefeld have won them all in regular time. A lot of people saying it wouldn't be possible for them again. But Bielefeld themselves know they can do it. They've knocked out 3 Bundesliga sides before. Back in 2014-15, they had a run. To Opie. Kjaerson not taking any further risks. Opie spots a free man. The captain's making a good run, Korbos, but he didn't want to take the risk of trying to find him. And it's not only the players that have been keeping going, the fans have too. There's a hand in there, unintentional, but it was too big of a touch to be ignored. 2 minutes added on at the end of this enthralling first half. Russo's delivery, looking for OP. Saran Bazet wins a corner. He's not the youngest anymore. Spent some time with Augsburg and with Hanover before that. But Noah Saran Bazet has got some experience, and he's been showing it this evening. Well, wrong-footed his captain. There is Mitch Kniat. He's someone who never played higher than the 4th and 5th divisions. He was a central defender, a centre-back in his time. Played at Gladbach reserves. Caxton claims that one without much ado. Bielefeld's coach also had time at Arminia Aachen. But he's having a fine old time at the moment with Bielefeld, and a little foul coaxed out there very cleverly from Joel Godowski. Joined this season from Preußen Münster. He's also one of their fastest players. Godowski's already been knocked out of the competition once this season, when he was still with Preußen Münster. Is Russo going to swing this one towards the keeper, or OP away? It's OP. Oh, marvellous! Marvellous, marvellous, marvellous stuff from Bielefeld! What a free kick, and all of a sudden, Leverkusen are looking at each other. They've got no clue what's happening here at the moment. A textbook free kick, met in the grand old style at the back post, puts Bielefeld in front and sets the stadium in uproar. It's a perfectly taken ball, and Maximilian Grothe, who has kept Patrick Schick quiet all night, has now added a goal to his haul so far. Fantastic stuff. Right on the stroke of half-time, the underdogs take the lead. This is incredible stuff. Do not touch that dial. This second half is gonna be massive. Look at the faces of the Leverkusen players as they go down the tunnel. This is going to be serious stuff in the second 45. Berlin, Berlin, we're going to Berlin is what the crowd are shouting. And on this showing in the first 45 minutes, they just might. It's Bielefeld 2, Leverkusen 1. That was quite some finish to the end of the first 45 minutes. We talked earlier about whether or not they can keep it up. It'll be interesting to see whether Leverkusen can keep it up. They have a big job to do in the second half. So the covers go on the centre circle, and the Bielefeld fans pinch themselves. They might think they're dreaming. but their side are doing it again. Ask Freiburg, ask Union, ask Bremen. They know what this side are capable of. Every time they've been here, all 4 cup ties in this stadium. And the 5th in a row. And the crowd have been magnificent this evening. They've got another 45 minutes of nail-biting football to come. People checking their mobile phones, sending messages to family members and fans who maybe aren't watching the game tonight, because if they're not, they've certainly missed something incredible in this first 45. Leverkusen with absolutely everything to do in the second half. This is why the cup is so loved by so many football fans. It's just 90 minutes, and if it works for you, it can certainly work. Jonathan Tah set Leverkusen off to a great start. Unmarked at the back post, there was nothing that Kerksen could do about it. And the feeling and sensation in the stadium was not one of, oh, here we go. It was resolve. And the top scorer now in this competition, Marius Wuhl, with his 3rd goal. He's had 3 assists as well. No other player's been involved in as many goals as him. With the perfect response just 3 minutes after Jonathan Tah got the opener, and they could have made it 2-1 if Noazan and Bazé could have steered his shots a little more cornerwards. A good save by Radetzky. But then this, on the stroke of half-time, a textbook free kick, attack the back post goal. And a goal for Maximilian Grosse. His first cup goal. And it has put Mitch Knaert's side in front at the break. They almost can't believe it, except they've done it before. I would certainly recommend watching the second half after this first half performance. What have Bielefeld got in store for Leverkusen in the second 45? Will it be more of the same, or will they have defeat served up coldly by the Bundesliga sides, who are known as Leverkusen? They know they can score late, but Bielefeld know they can beat Bundesliga sides. I hope you can join Patrick Obermeier and myself for the second half in about 10 minutes' time. Bye for now.
Welcome back here on the Arm, where our expert Patrick Obermeier and I cannot believe our eyes, because Bielefeld just took the lead against Bayer Leverkusen. What is going on here, Patrick?
It's a dramatic cup game, as always when it happens here in the stadium for Arminia Bielefeld. It's exactly the kind of game that I saw against Werder Bremen the last round before. Bielefeld is playing with a high intensity, really throwing themselves into every situation, making it really, really hard for Leverkusen to have a real good build-up in their game. And then with those moments that they have, they create a real danger in front of Lukas Radetzky's goal. And they were able to score twice, had another big chance with Zahan Renbazé. So it's not undeserved that Bielefeld is leading at halftime.
Leverkusen has an unusual high rate of missed passing, and also we could see pictures of Xabi Alonso in a thinking pose. What do you think will be his topics at the dressing room right now?
Of course, he wants his team to perform at their best, and at this moment it's not the case. But that's because Bielefeld is doing things that Leverkusen might not be used to. It's a lower tier team, and they react and act differently than teams from the Bundesliga, and you have to adapt to that. And that didn't happen for Leverkusen, so maybe he wants a little bit more of themselves to see in that second half. But of course they have to bring the fight to Bielefeld because they are really fighting.
And this atmosphere, Patrick, all the people that do have a seat, they're not sitting because they're just standing following every ball. It's crazy.
It is crazy, but that's the kind of energy that Arminia needs, the players need from the fans. And all these little things, these little challenges won, they are celebrated like Bielefeld scored. And that gave their team a little bit more confidence, a little bit more hope and belief. And that's why this team is performing that well.
Okay, let's see if Arminia Bielefeld can stand the pressure and if they're going to Berlin, if they can win against Bayer Leverkusen here tonight. Let's check out the second half.
The dream is so close, you can almost touch it.
What a pass, what a goal!
The DFB Pokal final on May the 24th.
The greatest football players, the biggest moments.
Just one more step to the Olympiastadion, one more victory to Berlin.
One of the biggest games in European football.
Leverkusen, Stuttgart and Leipzig know what it feels like to lift the trophy.
It's their year, it's their night, it's their trophy.
And underdogs Bielefeld want to make the final for the first time. 4 semi-finalists competing for a ticket to greatness. Goals are dreams with deadlines. These emotions are simply indescribable. Triumph and glory.
A season beyond their wildest dreams.
Everyone in Leverkusen wants to experience it again.
Bayer Leverkusen at the DFB Pokal. Xabi Alonso has delivered again.
The Vexelf also won the cup in 1993, but Bayer have never before defended their crown. This season, Leverkusen and Xabi Alonso want to rewrite the DFB Pokal history books. Arminia Bielefeld are dreaming of a first DFB Pokal final in the club's history.
The third-tier side have done it.
3 times they've reached the semi-finals. 3 times they've come so close. But 3 times, Bielefeld's hearts have been broken. This season, the 3rd division side are on a roll.
Bielefeld will represent the Dritte Liga in the 3rd round.
They've just beaten the finalists of 2022.
Arminia Bielefeld will make it through to the semi-finals.
Into the semi-finals once more. This time things will be different, because when you dream big, you can achieve anything. VfB Stuttgart are longing for this trophy. 2 years ago, they were knocked out in the semi-final by Frankfurt.
The end of the road for Stuttgart. This really hurts.
Last year, they were knocked out in an exhilarating game against the eventual winners Leverkusen.
And they're back in front, Stuttgart. And the cup tie level again. Oh, what a cross to Jonathan Tah! Heartbreak for Stuttgart.
Only their older fans know what it feels like to be cup winners. The last time Stuttgart lifted the trophy into the Berlin night sky was in 1997. So, it's about time. This goal has a deadline. A A team built to win this cup.
Leipzig complete the semi-final lineup in the DFB Pokal this season.
RB Leipzig have reached the final 3 times in the last 5 years. Twice they've won the competition. In 2022.
RB Leipzig win their first ever DFB Pokal.
And 2023.
The DFB Pokal still belongs to RB Leipzig. Cup glory once again in Berlin for Die Roten Bullen.
Last year, there was an uncharacteristic early exit in round 2.
The 2-time defending title winners Leipzig are knocked out of the DFB Pokal.
Leipzig want to return to the throne. It's just one win. 90 minutes. Or 120, maybe even a penalty shootout. But this dream is worth all the pain, all the pressure, all the suffering. This goal is a dream with a deadline. May the 24th is the day. The DFB Pokal final in Berlin.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Schuko Arena in Bielefeld, where at the moment we look set for a cup sensation. The reigning cup holders, Bayer Leverkusen, are 2-1 down at the break. The goal with virtually the last kick of the second half coming from a free kick just outside the box on the left-hand side, swung into the back post, and there waiting for it was Maximilian Grosse. Not only had he kept Patrick Schick here quiet for most of the first half, now he's bagged himself a goal. You can see how keen the Leverkusen side are to get on with it. Now, Bielefeld are keeping them waiting in the tunnel. They would have had a lot to say to each other, as will Leverkusen. It's going to be a massive second half for both these sides. Who's going to get a place in the final in Berlin on May the 24th? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. No changes for either side. Bielefeld going into a huddle. They know the storm that is approaching. The clouds are gathering. And I dare say Victor Boniface is warming himself up mentally, if not physically, as we speak. Because sooner or later, he will release, Alonso will release all of his attacking options if there's still a goal down. After several minutes here, maybe about the hour mark. The home side with the kickoff for what could be the most monumental 45 minutes in their club history. I mean, Adley a little too enthusiastic to get going in the second half. No doubt they've had a frank exchange in the dressing room at half-time. But the score, as it stands, is Bielefeld 2, Leverkusen 1. It might sound ridiculous, but the third division side are leading the Bundesliga double winners from last season and Europa League finalists. Patrick Obermayela alongside me today. That sounds crazy to me.
It does sound crazy and unbelievable, but it's the truth for now, and it's not undeserved. I think Bielefeld did so many things right, especially their defensive intensity and how they throw themselves in every situation. Made it really hard for Leverkusen to find their rhythm, find their game. They have a really low completion percentage in terms of passing from open play. That's unusual, of course, for a team of their quality.
88% in the Bundesliga. It's only been 61%.
That's what I'm saying. And of course, also possession-wise, Bielefeld really takes a lot off Leverkusen.
Grimaldo's free kick. That's a good free kick, as we've come to expect from him over the last couple of seasons. But it's cleared by the captain, Korbos. And Bielefeld go into that march forward that they've been doing so brilliantly. Just a little too far away from Sam Schreck. Sam Schreck, the number 8, never actually played for the Leverkusen A team, but he in the Bundesliga, but he did play 2 Europa League games for them back when Heiko Herrlich was coach.
And of course, that somehow still connects him with Leverkusen, gives him maybe some extra motivation to do something great here with this current team, Arminia Bielefeld.
Jackson. Opie, he's played really well so far today, the number 4. He's also one of their faster players. Spotted early by Radetsky. The captain trying to inspire. Well, Kutowski getting the crowd going as if they needed anything.
They're already going and they're already helping as much as they can. The fans really the 12th man down there on the pitch. Can say.
The Alm trying to will that ball into the net again for the home side. Schick with the header. Oh, little slip. Grimaldo recovers quickly. Hincapie's there to help him out. Schick's header. Tar.
And that's also interesting to see now Tar with that, I would say, very hectic header in terms of just getting it away quickly. And this is what the intensity of Bielefeld's first half did to Leverkusen. They think now in every situation there's no time because some Bielefeld player will rush into the situation. And even though that's not the case, the Leverkusen players react to that, and that's...
Brodowski couldn't take the ball with him. Another promising moment for Bielefeld.
And again, that leads to these kind of situations. An easy mistake from Mukiele.
Don't know about you, Patrick, but it's been in a long time since I've been in a stadium that's actually been wobbling.
Yeah, we can really feel
the stands.
And it's not even our stand that is jumping. It's the stand of the hardcore fans behind the goal, and still we can feel it halfway around the stadium. So, yeah, there's intensity. And now I can tell you that I can see Victor Boniface approaching the bench after a little warm-up. So there might be trouble approaching for Arminia Bielefeld defense.
Zaranambaze and Hincapie. Oh, that's not going to go down well. You cannot throw a ball at an opponent. Yellow cards for Hincapie. Although I think Zaranambaze's milking that for all it's worth. But he threw it at the back of his head. You can see very clearly on the replay, I'm sure.
Yeah, but this is intentionally.
I think
this is not unintentionally. This is absolutely with aiming, and therefore this is actually at least a yellow card.
Which is what he got.
Because it wasn't, you know, the hardest throw, but this is...
It might have slipped out of his hands, but it's a silly move more than anything else.
I'm telling you, Phil, and it's not because I have anything against Leverkusen or Hincapie, but this was intentionally thrown at Zaren
They've
Renbase.
been going at it right from the first whistle. But I think a yellow card is suitable for this.
And you don't have to make more out of it than it is.
And a nomination for,
an
award.
You can get up now because you get hit way harder with footballs during practice or every game than this one. So this is, of course, a little more from Zaren Renbase, but yet again, he didn't expect it. But that throw was absolutely aimed at Zaren Renbase instead of just giving it to Grimaldo.
Well, it just shows you how much he has got to the man marking him. There's a little grin in there.
Maybe.
There's a little grin.
Maybe. Of course, this is time, this is momentum. This also works towards Arminia Bielefeld. And of course, it gets the crowd even more involved. And there's that exchange. It's Palacios actually leaving the pitch. And Victor Boniface on for him now.
And the captain's armband, or a note rather, has been passed to Granit Xhaka, which probably says, go tell Hincapié to mind himself now. And they're certainly being passed on. But Victor Boniface coming on will certainly bolster the Leverkusen attack. Now I really get the feeling we'll see how good the Bielefeld defence is, because it's going to come under pressure, surely.
Yeah, that's the idea, of course, now putting Victor Boniface also besides Patrick Schick.
Grimaldo. Schick. Gotta go out for a throw. Tar knows already that he's got Grodowski breathing down his neck. The Arminia fans will remember this, whatever the outcome, for a long time. That one's going to bounce away from between the two players. Sam Schreck and Noah Zaren Renbase.
Yeah, Xabi Alonso is wandering left and right, up and down his coaching area. Actually really looking nervous. Why wouldn't he be at the moment?
And trying to keep it tight. Adler gets it away. Andres. Now Jonathan Tah. Mukiela. Referee awards that Leverkusen's way.
Yeah, even though Oppi might have won the throw-in before there was a foul on Mukiela. And Bielefeld with that same kind of energy. Still.
Flag goes up. Offsides. Well, we're 55 minutes into the game. That means 35 minutes is all Bielefeld have got to do.
And that's a long, long time, especially if you play Leverkusen.
Maybe today will be the day that they don't get it together. Last season, when they were unbeaten and they went to the Europa League final, it was the one bad game they had. It was the final, which is a shame for them. It's a nicely put in ball again. it's Zaran Barze, who just seems to have the knack of getting to the places that he needs to be, and the Leverkusen players forget to mark him.
Yeah, he's a real, I would say he's a thorn in the flesh of Leverkusen so far. Even though those situations, like just now, doesn't lead to a goal directly, he is still always a threat and always bringing some danger. Great game of Zaran Renbaze as of Bielefeld in total.
His name's actually longer than Noah Zaran Renbaze. He's actually Noah Joel Zaran Renbaze. But I don't think we've got time this evening to give him his full name every time he gets the ball. But he's had a very good game.
Very good and really very busy. Really involved in a lot of things good for Bielefeld.
I mean, they call him the veteran. He's only 28. It's marvellous. Delightful stuff. They're not afraid, are they? They are not going to come off of this game wishing that they'd left more on the pitch, because they won't have any left by the end of this game.
They won't.
Godowski. We wanted to shoot.
Yeah, why not? I mean, this is the kind of confidence that they earned themselves with not just the first 45 minutes, but also, of course, those 4 rounds before this one, where they played exactly in that style, in that fashion, and they got exactly what they wanted.
And
now
what they deserved.
And what they
this
deserved.
was the thing. You know, it's a 3rd division side playing great football, getting results and deserving it. It wasn't like they had a lucky bounce. This game's not over yet, though. Although on a night like tonight, when you hit those, you just got to think, well, maybe it'll go in, really. What's the coach thinking right now? How is he going to keep up the intensity? Does he substitute players as they start to wilt? Because in the back of your brain, there's got to be that, oh, it's Leverkusen.
Yeah, and to me, it's all about him leveling out his players now, because of course they want to jump at everything, they want to throw themselves at everything, but from a certain point in this game you have to manage energy, because the depth of the squad is definitely not as deep as Leverkusen's is, and they will feel if they have to make some substitutions in some positions at least. So managing energy is something that the coach has to do now from the sideline. Tell his players when to calm down, when to maybe not push for it.
Well, that's it, because the last thing that they need is to have one of their players sent off for something over, well, a bit like in Carpier.
Also that, yes.
Yellow cards for Victor Boniface. There was an elbow in that challenge.
Yes, and stretch out arm in the face, and of course, even though he just wants to get a feel of his opponent, it's way too high, it doesn't belong in that face, and that's why this is the right call. Maybe yellow is a little lot, but here it comes. You see now the coach is getting his Arminia players to the sideline to have some words, while one of their players is getting some treatment. And this is a chance to tell them, don't overpace it. And also Xabi Alonso, of course, gives a few words of advice to Amin Adli, maybe to pass on to his players.
Bundesliga 2 was founded in 1974. This year marks the 10th time that a side from the 3rd or 4th division has reached the semi-finals. And there are going to be some sore throats at work tomorrow.
Maybe there will be off day tomorrow, at least for everyone living in Bielefeld, if the team manages to advance to the final. You don't have to worry about a full throw then. And
what is Xabi Alonso thinking right now? I mean, they can't concede another one. That would be an absolute disaster. Every single ball that they win is greeted as if they've just won the World Cup.
it's those little things, and step by step, this is how the team gets a little energy back. Keeping the belief, keeping the hope.
So something special from the training ground, perhaps. Perhaps not. They seem to be in two minds as to whether to continue that movement.
That's a good tackle from Robert Andrich.
And that's a poor tackle from Joel Grodowski.
Yeah, that's an easy call, of course, for Harm Osmas, the referee. It's just a tactical, just to stop Grimaldo from advancing.
Xhaka, what a good ball in. Got it away, only as far as Xhaka. That's a rough challenge on Capie.
And another yellow card.
Yellow card. And this is what they have to be careful about.
Yeah.
Because the intensity from Leverkusen is going to increase.
Yeah, and you want to be able to keep that energy up defensively, that intensity, of course, in those challenges. And with more and more players collecting these yellow cards, obviously, because they're getting more and more tired, of course, and coming a little late into these situations.
Sam Schreck getting the yellow card there. He's actually the most fouled player in the side in the league.
Yeah, and he looks like a player that can't harm a fly. But he did in that case and got booked for it.
Four minutes past the hour. It's 2-1 to Arminia Bielefeld from the third division against the Bundesliga and champions and cup holders Leverkusen. It sounds incredible, but on their previous performances, it's actually believable.
It is believable, and you can see that in every fan's face here in the stadium, because they witnessed this a couple of times before this cup season. And they just want it one more time before they can book tickets, trains, buses, and shared rides to Berlin.
For Grodowski. Radetzky relying on his defenders. And a solid right-hand punch. Bielefeld keep hold of it. Oh, a little moment of indecision there from Mukiele. The ball bouncing really awkwardly for him. Corner.
This is, from a Bielefeld point of view, or Bielefeld fans' point of view, this is the stuff that dreams are made of. These little things going your team's way. And it seems like some of those fans really can't believe what they're seeing, even though they witnessed this a couple of times before.
Russo with the header. And again. Bazet is in the middle on his own. With Piero Hincapié as almost his shadow. The amount of possession that Bielefeld are having in Leverkusen's half.
It is really impressive how Bielefeld manages to stay in possession. They're staying calm in these pressure moments, in these pressure areas. That is good football. That's good match IQ also.
As you said earlier, it's perhaps not what Leverkusen are used to in their style of play. Protesting his innocence.
It is a bump into the body of Russo, of course. Not much, just a normal foul. But here we go. Again, Bielefeld, to me now, needs to take more care of time management, energy management, time management. Every free kick, if you don't have a chance to do it quick and get a big chance out of it, take as much time off the clock as possible, because it can haunt you in the end if you're allowing Leverkusen to re-engage fast.
Oh, it's a lovely ball for OP. Now Gradowski's missed the sitter. Oh, that could really have pushed them towards Berlin. Is he going to regret that at the end of the 90?
We won't know, but it was well played.
He's shinned that one, hasn't he?
Yeah, a poor contact, but well played, of course. And of course, Oppi. Oh, that connection was just not the cleanest. But again, it's not just fight, it's also really good football that Bielefeld is showing.
They're creating chance after chance. Leverkusen on the back foot. Zaran Bazet, always willing to chase the ball.
But I don't know how much he has left in him. He was already looking to that bench and to his coach.
Well, one player who's got his name down for a player of the game so far is Maximilian Großer. He scored the goal, of course. He's kept Schick quiet.
Yeah.
88 or around 87% pass completion and 68% of his challenges won. He's having a marvellous game.
Fantastic game, yeah. Absolutely player of the match material that he's producing. But he needs to keep that going for at least 20 minutes.
And there's 20 minutes to play. 20 minutes to the biggest sensation in the DFB Pokal for many a year. Over the decades, we've seen sides slip up in the earlier rounds, but at this stage in the competition, this is something extraordinary.
This is, and especially because it's Leverkusen on the other side, a team packed with quality and usually so consistent with their performances. And even though it's not the very strongest season,
Yellow card is coming out again.
It's for Russo.
Russo this time.
Yeah, even though, and that was my thought, it isn't the strongest of seasons for Leverkusen, at least if you compare it to last season, of course. It's still a very solid season. Runner-up in the Bundesliga, maybe still with some title hopes there. But they have absolutely no idea how to create dangerous situations, enough at least, in this game against a third-tier team.
We see Nathan Teller is warming up as well. Xabi Alonso's going to be using everything he's got.
It's interesting that they put a three-man wall from this far out. Grimaldo's certainly not known for big hits. He's known for curved balls from maybe a little shorter distance.
But Leverkusen are desperate. Who knows? No, that one's being lobbed in. Oh, that's a big save from Jonas Kirksen. Did I mention before, his mum's British, so he might qualify for England or Scotland, apparently. They did ask.
That was a little bit of a highlight video there for him. Not many situations for him to prove himself, but that was much needed and a good save.
Another one of those Leverkusen corners. Andres, there's somebody in the way. And now Grodowski goes off at a pace, but Frimpong is there.
Yeah, but I really can't remember when the last time Leverkusen created this much of a scare for Bielefeld in this game.
Well, we're moving towards the last 10 minutes. It's only the last 15 minutes of the game. And still, it's 2-1 to Bielefeld, and they're having to untangle their goalkeeper.
And there is an unnecessary... Ooh, I mean, Boniface is already booked with a yellow card, and he comes in late, and he comes in with a lot of energy.
Is he going for the ball?
Is there a chance to get to that ball? I mean, just because you head in that direction doesn't mean you're really going for the ball, but I don't think this is enough for Hammersmith to send somebody off. Here's another look on that chance. Kaskin has to be quick. That bounce just before he gets to that ball makes it even harder to save this one, and it's a great save from Kaskin. And here's that chance, Corbus, then Oppi, and that connection is just not there for Grodowski. Otherwise, it could have been a 2-goal cushion for Bielefeld.
And that would have made it very, very difficult for the visitors. There's one sore throat we just saw there.
Was it a sore throat or just
emotion?
Almost emotion, because you can't believe what he's seeing. Simon Rolfes obviously is...
Well, the last time these two sides met in the Cup, Simon Rolfes was on the pitch.
Yeah.
Back in 2013. I was doing some research before this game. Pep Guardiola and Louis van Gaal both went 10 cup games unbeaten before losing on their 11th. Guess how many cup games Xabi Alonso's gone without losing?
You know how much I like if you're trying to jinx things, but yeah, Xabi Alonso won 10 so far. This is the 11th, and who knows what's going to happen in these final 15 minutes. We all know about Leverkusen and their qualities late in games to equalize or even turn around. And why shouldn't they do what they do best?
Well, they look disjointed and a little clueless this evening.
They do.
Do I say Florian Wirtz at this moment? I mean, they've got other injuries. Edmund Tapsoba's out. And Mosol's out as well. But I'm thinking they're just having a bad night.
They do. And they... Yet again, you have to give credit to the other side as well.
Absolutely,
it's always
yes.
a bit of both, and I won't take it away that it's not the best night for Leverkusen, but it's a very good night for Bielefeld once again as well.
We've talked about it so many times. They are where they are because they put in the graft, they put in the hard work, and they've done the same again this evening. So, substitution. On comes Nathan Teller for Amin Adli. Fresh legs. Maybe new ideas. Bensky had to make sure he hit that one cleanly. did well with that. Schick trying to do too much.
Yeah, Ramos now needs to de-escalate, of course, because with so much on the line, the intensity there is, of course it's going to get hectic and it's going to get a little, yeah, as I said, gritty, nitty and gritty down there. So he needs to de-escalate in many situations probably now. That was very good of Nkapia clearing with a lying header. And yet again, don't do it too quick. Take your time. This will be my advice as a coach for Arminia Bielefeld at this point. But that was really, really good. Really, really good of Stefano Russo. Keep possession, lure him close, and get a corner for it.
Now they're a bunch of hard runners. They average about 124 kilometers per game as a team. So I'm fairly sure that they can do the next 10 minutes or so.
Problem is, they need at least 12, Phil, or
at least
11
12.
and a half.
Well, they're not going to suddenly stop, I don't think. Now, Schick tried to start something, but the ball kicked away from underneath him. Ooh, a little risky there.
That's the luck he worked for. That's the luck Marius Wolf worked for.
Oh, that one played into the hands of Victor Boniface. Now, Frimpong, has he outpaced himself? No, the ball's still in. Grimaldo. Nkapia.
Well, here again, you see the Bielefeld players chasing so far forward. It's really unnecessary. At this point, it's more about keeping control instead of chasing any opportunities. It's a good ball.
It's a good ball too. Patrick Schick, and he's hit the post. Oh, they're getting closer and closer, Patrick.
Yeah, that's a very good cross, and that's actually a very decent header, just placed a little too far to the right. He does everything right against the movement of the goalkeeper. You want to place it exactly there, but of course, just a little bit further to the left from Patrick Schick's point of view.
26,601 in the stadium this evening. 3,200 of those are Leverkusen fans who are looking very shocked at the moment. There are less than 10 minutes to play. Now is the time when you've really got to do game management.
Yes, it's all about that now, and especially those two up front, Rodowski and Zarin Basé, they can't just exclude themselves and chase everything. They need to stay connected to the pack in midfield to not allow Leverkusen a calm build-up.
It's so even at the moment. Leverkusen have had just a couple of shots more possession is like 1 or 2% difference. They have given Leverkusen the run of their life this evening.
Absolutely. It's not undeserved that Bielefeld is leading this one because of how much they invested in this and how much they ask of Leverkusen. But it isn't over, and now it's about being clever and not being, I don't know, over the top and maybe looking for a third goal. Of course, that was probably would close the deal for Bielefeld, but it could also really, really go wrong.
It's a long throw and a half. Grimaldo.
Now some fresh legs for Bielefeld, of course.
Makes sense. Javier Biancardi. In his time, he's been around. He started off his career down in Bayern with Bayern München, Augsburg, Rostock, on loan at Braunschweig, and 1860 Munich. His last port of call was Heidenheim before he ended up here. 2 goals so far this season in the league for him.
So now again, no, don't play it, don't play it. Exactly, you see those players, Bielefeld, they are so full of energy, and that's why they want to play it fast. They want to chase another chance.
And Biancardi's not a defender, he's another...
Yeah, it's also a very, very interesting approach. Here's another reward for the efforts, and another corner for Bielefeld. But this is what you have to do from the sideline now. Tell your players, stay calm, put your foot on the ball, just relax, take a breather, take some time off the clock.
Only 3 other third division sides have ever reached the final. Hertha reserves, Cottbus and Union Berlin. And right now, Arminia Bielefeld are just 6 minutes or so away from the biggest day in their club's history. But they have to hold off Bayer Leverkusen. The late show. Teller chasing it, no mistakes made by Kerksen.
No mistake by Maximilian Großer either so far.
Russo. Punch it into the corner and chase it.
And no foul. That's important now. Yeah, let it go then.
Biancardi chasing that one down. Radetsky wants to kick the ball long. And the stadium wobbles again. But what's really wobbling right now is Leverkusen's grip on the cup. The Pokal hangs by a thread. Kept away from danger by Kerksen.
Yeah, maybe he could have let that go for a goal kick, and it went for a goal kick. But that's a good thing. Now it's a time again to take some time off the clock. The ingredients are there, but yet again, it's Leverkusen on the other side, and they still have 4 minutes plus additional time, plus added time to do something here. And we've seen it. We've seen it happen.
Chase is on, but Russo's going to get there first. Kerksen put some air underneath it. Free kick. Sam Schreck, the former Leverkusen player, is down. Nathan Teller is getting a yellow card.
And here's that situation, of course, that head is a little bit low. And there's not even a connection with the head. But this is
game
what you see. This is game management from Sam Francis Schreck, of course. He knows exactly how to play this one.
They've had a few yellow cards this evening, both sides. It's not been bad-tempered, it's just been full on.
It is. It's not an unfair game, but it's energy in every situation, intensity, offensively, defensively, and look at this face. Fabian Klos really, really nervous watching his former club maybe achieving some great stuff here tonight. Yeah, and again, we saw that there was no connection between head and leg. This is how it all started. Jonathan Tah with the opening goal. And of course, Bielefeld answered that really, really quick with Marius Wörl's equalizer. And just short before half-time, with a stretched out leg, Maximilian Großer. And it's almost too much to bear for some of the Bielefeld fans. These nail-biting last minutes of this cup thriller so far.
Just keep moving that ball to the corners to just run the clock down if they can. Leverkusen don't know where to go or what to do with the ball. It's 2-1, it's the 89th minute, and Arminia Bielefeld stand on the brink of the biggest day in their club's history. A place in the final to play either Stuttgart or Leipzig. Every touch of the ball met with a cheer. Grimaldo, that's lovely stuff from him. Teller. They'll have a corner now. And the Leverkusen fans have woken up over in that far corner.
Yeah, good save there from Schneider, denying this to get a real dangerous ball in front of the goal.
Now they need to be careful again.
Yeah.
This is a breakneck point in the game. Back in from Granit Xhaka. Jonathan Tah again, this time it's well over. Looking for his second of the game. 6 minutes of time added on. The cup holders have 6 minutes to get an equaliser at the very least.
Yeah, and a little bit of that time is now wasted by Grimaldo because he was complaining that it was just 6 minutes. Now he takes a little bit of time off because he gets booked for complaining. That's all nonsense. If you're chasing something, you can't allow yourself to.
It's concentration, isn't it?
It is, it is.
Xhaka was knocked over. Xhaka involved again. Boniface, that's gorgeous stuff from Boniface there. Tah, Frimpong, outside him goes Mukiela. Frimpong desperately looking for a way through, but he just can't find one.
Yeah.
Xhaka, outnumbered. They won the ball.
Almost a breakaway.
But they couldn't control it. Opie. Schreck. Biancardi. They don't have to go forward. They just can't lose the ball, which they've just done. Boniface is offsides. to the joy of the home fans.
Yeah, it's all a little hectic now, of course, and this is the wrong decision. At least Victor Boniface wasn't offside, Patrick Schick was, but he wasn't even at that ball. But
remember going into additional time against Köln in the quarter-final. They were 2-1 down and they came back and won it 3-2 without penalties.
I've seen things. I mean, I've seen both teams now doing great things, and especially Leverkusen when it comes to late turnarounds. Now it's a substitution, of course, Zion Renbase, who really left it all on the pitch, and so did, of course, Sam Francis Schreck.
So, Joel Felix, who's left out of the starting lineup, comes on, as does Isaiah Young, another American. Learned his football at the Philadelphia Union Academy. Played for a while at your old side, Bremen, in the reserves. But again, Isaiah Young, another attacker. Joel Felix, though, is a defender. Give me that one.
And just listen to the fans. There's nothing coming out of that Leverkusen corner. Even they don't really see a lot of hope now.
They are stunned. They need to make no mistakes. Detsky. Long ball. Boniface underneath it. Xhaka. Boniface again. Tar's header.
And again, Maximilian Großer. What an incredible game.
Oh, he's through! Biancardi, he's got the ball. Oh, now they could have had a third. Isaiah Young, not quite up.
Yeah, but this is vital time. And even though they couldn't score, they had won another situation. And this is again time management, another corner.
There is so little time left. Referee looks at his watch again. And again, they're not looking just to run the clock down, they're looking still to score, but they need to be careful. They've got another substitute lined up. Boniface forced into reverse gear. How much longer do Bielefeld have to wait? Leverkusen have been outplayed in this game for at least 2/3 of it. They want to make the substitution. They haven't been allowed to make the substitution, and play continues, but they now have the ball. They're moving forward. Biancardi is in his own half. He can't be offside. He's got to go for goal here. Isaiah Young. It's over! Sensational, unbelievable, fantastical, monumental holders, and they are delirious, and they have every right to be. They played this game full on from the first whistle, but they've done that in every single round. This is unbelievable. The cup holders out. The biggest moment so far will be the final, which is still to come. Patrick, they can't control themselves, the fans. You can kind of understand that.
Yeah.
This is monumental. It's massive. It's huge. It's just out of this world if you're a Bielefeld fan.
It is. I mean, they celebrating it like they already won the cup and storming the pitch, which is, of course, not the right thing to do. But the emotions are just coming out now. This is unbelievable for this club, for the fans, of course, for the players, because they made it. They're going all the way to the final.
They're a different league, but they've been a different class this evening.
They were. They deserved everything that they achieved. They played a fantastic game. They had a fantastic match plan. They really did everything right against Leverkusen, and that's why they deserve this ticket to go to Berlin.
The players just wandering around in the melee of people, being hugged by complete strangers, but they are family this evening.
I mean, I kind of know this feeling from winning things and fans storming the pitch and emotions going crazy. But yet again, this is not all the way. This is a great achievement, but there's still more to come. So celebrate in peace and leave those players to themselves for the moment and give them some space.
Well, the stewards are desperately trying to marshal the people off the pitch. It's, as you would expect, very, very good-natured. The biggest day to date for Arminia Bielefeld, but the biggest day ever is still to come. They don't know who they'll play in the final, but they are in the final. Leipzig or Stuttgart. Whichever they get, they won't be afraid. They've just knocked out the cup holders and reigning champions of the Bundesliga. It's the fourth Bundesliga side that they've knocked out. They are indomitable in this competition right now, and whoever they get is going to be nervous.
Yeah, they better be, because this team really has a good recipe and a good will, a good fight, and some quality to really ask the right questions of every team they're facing. And whoever that might be, I think they're looking forward to it. This is also a great situation. Yeah, we see Fabian Klos. He would love to still be a part of this team, of course. He came close, but not as close. And now he witnesses his club to go all the way to the final, to Berlin.
And that's what they're singing. Berlin, Berlin. We're going to Berlin.
And of course, another thing, this can give them another push in the league. They're just a point behind the relegation spot for the Bundesliga. Just 5 points.
Bundesliga 2.
Bundesliga 2, that is, sorry. Just 5 points of a direct qualification. So even there, it could be a great season for this club.
Over the years, there have been some cup sensations, but there have never been a sensation like this in Bielefeld. 5 games, all at home in the cup this season. And you might have just heard a gentleman walk past us say verdient in German, which means deserved, worked for, and got. And you cannot deny that he's absolutely right.
No, you can't put it any better. This is exactly what we've been saying, and it's exactly what everybody saw. It's not a lucky win. It's not a lucky cup season for Bielefeld. It was round after round after round. Intensity, the right effort, the right match plan, the right approach.
They've been playing brilliant football.
They were taking half of the possession of a team that usually has all the possession, especially when they're playing, let's say, weaker teams. That's incredible to me. That's incredible. To outfight them, okay, that's one thing. But to really bring the game to them, to Leverkusen, as Arminia Bielefeld, as a third division team, that's great stuff.
They weren't scared. They didn't hide themselves. They didn't just try and defend. They attacked from the outset, and they made Leverkusen look quite ordinary this evening.
Absolutely, because they had an answer to all the questions. They were asking the right questions to Leverkusen. It was just good to watch. And I was nervous because I thought maybe they wanted too much by playing football, by trying to develop something instead of just bringing it over the line. But they did it the right way. They did it in a good way, and they deserved this.
Even at the end, when a lot of sides would have just tried to stay in the corner, keep the ball in the air as long as possible, they were still cutting the ball back in, surprising Leverkusen, because that's what Leverkusen thought they were going to do.
And we talked about it just after halftime. I think they got into the heads of Leverkusen by chasing them and pushing them and fighting them as they did in the first half, and that was still in the minds of Leverkusen in the second half. Even in those situations where Leverkusen maybe had a little bit more time, they were too hectic. They were anxious almost, because they thought, oh, there might be someone chasing me if I'm not playing it fast enough. And this was good stuff.
Well, let's talk about Leverkusen. They're 6 points off of Bayern. They have... Oh, actually, we can go and speak to Jonas Kjarksen, who is obviously able to talk to us on the touchline. There he goes now, lining up with Anna Zara-Lange. We'll see how his English is.
Jonas Kjarksen is with us. Jonas, first of all, congratulations. You're going to Berlin. You're going to play the final of the DFB Pokal. Can you believe that?
Right now, no, to be honest, first of all, thank you. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Today we showed up, the crowd showed up, and yeah, we had another special night against the former Bundesliga winner and cup winner, and it's just unbelievable.
Talking about the crowd, nobody went home so far, and the atmosphere heute was brilliant. It was crazy. How was it for you on pitch?
To be honest, from the beginning, when I walked out for the warm-up, I had goosebumps in my whole body. They were so loud, and then when the game began, I started right in front of the Süd. Yeah, it was incredible, and they carried us through this for sure.
Hannover, Union Berlin, Freiburg, Bremen, and the defending champion Bayer Leverkusen. How did you do that?
To be honest, I don't know. I think right now we can say against the ball we're one of the best teams in Germany probably, and we stayed. Yeah, I don't know. After the first game, the belief was there that we can defeat anyone here, and yeah, it just kept going. But I don't know.
I see you seeking for words, I understand, but let us know. I mean, as a player, it must be the biggest dream to play a final, right, in Berlin. How do you feel about that now?
Yeah, I think it's... I haven't realized it yet, I would say. Even that we're in the semi-final, it's still processing. I think it's going to take a while, maybe years, when I look back and I'm going to be like, oh my God, this was so special. But yeah, probably also before the game in Berlin, I'm going to feel it as well, or we're going to feel it.
Thank you so much. Enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
It's been a massive night in Bielefeld. These are the nights you live for. This is a cup competition. It's a knockout and anything can happen. It's on to the final for Bielefeld, but from Patrick Overmaier and myself, Phil Bonney, thank you for joining us on this momentous evening for Arminia Bielefeld. Let's hope we get to see many, many more over the coming weeks, months and years. Bye for now.
Well, first of all,